Greetings and welcome back to the channel. I think we got good news, finally. Brian Wheeler just posted on the forums. Apparently, the proc set removal tests are gonna be a thing. They're gonna happen, and it's gonna happen next week, actually. February 15th, actually, like 1 week from now. They're gonna run for 3 weeks, and they're removing all proc sets, even like sets that we as players would not necessarily associate with proc sets. Brian Wheeler mentions Seducer, for example. Seducer, of course, gives you the 10% cost reduction to your skills. We would not recognize a set like that as a proc set. Apparently, it is considered a proc set because there is a check that has to be run between the set and the server, checking if you're casting a magicka ability and if the 10% correctly applies to it. So sets like that are also going to be removed from the game, which is kind of weird because a lot of sets do something like this. And if we take a look at the list of sets that is not going to be affected, it's not a long list. It's not a long list. That's a pretty short list of sets. And if I understand that correctly, these are all the sets that we can use. So looking at this, Amber Plasm, Trainee, Beekeeper, Crafty Elfie, Hulking Draugr, Endurance, Fortified Brass, Grace the Ancients, Hunting's Rage, Impregnable, Julianos, Leviathan, Mother Sorrow, Plague Doctor, Shacklebreaker, Spinner, Spriggans, Willpower, Agility. Good sets, but not a lot of them. So I think buildcraft wise, we're probably going back to 2014 when we didn't have a whole lot of sets and everybody was running the same sets. I like the idea. I wish we could include some other sets here, because I feel like sets like Seducer and like Eternal Vigor or something, they're not really an issue in PvP, but that's not what the test is about, right? The test is about, will removal of the proc sets actually do something for performance? So this doesn't really have anything to do with, like looking at the current PvP meta, which is very toxic, very, very, very proc set forward, which I hate, and I talked about this many times before. But this is like solely focused on improving performance, and they want to see if the removal of the proc sets and the removal of all these little checks that these sets have to run, if that does something for the performance. I personally hope it does something for the performance, because better performance is something that we all want in the game. Performance is not great. It hasn't been great in a long time. 2020 was the year of performance. It was supposed to be the year of performance. It did absolutely nothing for performance. It actually got worse. So Zenimax needs to do something here, and they're looking at a pretty interesting solution here, removing the proc sets. I'm all for that. Not so much because I think it's going to do a ton for performance, but I think it's going to do a lot for the PvP environment. Because right now, with all the proc sets going on, a lot of super overtuned proc sets that are stackable, and you can just run 3 or 4 of them on your build, and everybody's doing it. If you've played PvP in open world especially, but BGs as well, if you have played PvP in the last 1 or 2 months, you probably know what I'm talking about. You've probably seen the beams. As soon as you get into a fight, you have 5 beams on you coming from all different directions, hitting you for crazy amounts of damage. There's the Vatran beam, there's the Zon beam, then people have like other beams too. They have Oblivion's foe on you, ticking hard, and it's just, it never ends. You can't get away, right? So I'm interested to see what PvP is going to feel like if people have to do their own damage and their own healing and have to build for their own tankiness, and not just get that for free from a proc set that has no real requirements outside of when you take damage, when you deal damage, when you do this, when you do that. Like all these like super easy to proc sets are a big issue in my opinion. So I'm really interested to see what that's going to feel like. I think I'm going to enjoy these 3 weeks. I hope that people are going to play PvP, because there's a good chance that a lot of people are just going to take the 3 weeks off, just not play, and then we're not going to really see any improvements here. We're not going to really see any results. So, you know, if you're watching this, if you don't know if you should play during these 3 weeks of testing, yes, you should. Please do me a favor. Come out here, play Cyrodiil PvP, play the BGs, just build a decent build, and just have fun. Just enjoy. Just pretend it's 2014 again, okay? A little bit of nostalgia can't hurt, okay? So that's all the info that we have. It's going to start next week on the 15th. It's going to run for 3 weeks. This is the list of sets that's going to be available. And if they, you know, if they get any good results, I hope they go through with removing proc sets. At least the really bad ones, like I said, like Hunter's Venom and Unleashed Terror and stuff like that. The ones that are just really prominent and overpowered and way too easy to use. I hope they remove them from PvP, because if that is going to do something for the performance, that's a big win. But if it's not doing anything for the performance, it's definitely going to do something for the PvP environment, which is so toxic right now. It's so far removed from any skillful gameplay that I don't enjoy playing this game anymore, to be completely honest. And this could definitely be, you know, something fresh, something new, something exciting, and could push this game into a better direction. Especially with the next patch coming, the rework of the CP system, which is kind of interesting. It's not perfect, you know, there's some questionable things in there, you know, regarding health recovery. But I'm pretty sure we're going to get that in check. And so, you know, if I just imagine a new CP system with a new server hardware, which they're going to do. They said it's not going to do much for the performance, but I mean, fresh servers, you know, can't hurt. New CP, and then the removal of proc sets. If we could like pull that through, maybe this game doesn't have to die, because right now it's dying rapidly in PvP. People are not trying anymore. A lot of people just don't want to do it anymore. They're upset. They're sick of it. I'm one of these people. So yeah, that could save the game for me and for a lot of other people. Maybe some old schoolers are going to come back, you know. Maybe you're going to see a Cypher PK. Remember good old Cypher PK? Maybe he's going to come back, because in a environment where proc sets are not that prominent anymore, he could definitely have some fun, and, you know, could definitely have a chance, being a player that hasn't played the game very much in the last 2-3 years. So, you know, maybe we see some old veterans come back. Would be nice. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I personally think this is a good thing. I hope we're going through with some of the, you know, some of the proc set changes. I would love to see that applied to the game in general. And like, we can keep proc sets for PvE. Like, I don't care about that. If you are a PvE player, you want to keep the proc sets, I'm cool with that. I just think they have no place in PvP. Not the way they're designed right now. They're bad for the game. They hurt the game a lot. People play lazy builds. They don't learn how to play. And it's not good for the game. I don't like that. So let's go back to a more healthy PvP environment. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll be back with more build videos soon. Right now, I'm just taking it a little bit easy because things are going to change. I don't want to release a build that you can only play for the next 2 weeks and then it's going to be gone, because everything's shifting. So we'll see when the next build videos come. Until then, guys, stay safe out there. See you next time.